Now available in paperback and e-readers from SJS Direct. Isis, House of Isis. The goddess next door takes on a hustling Hotep high priestess in Harlem in this Afrocentric Isis series adventure. Pick up Isis, House of Isis at online booksellers today. One of my viewers wanted to know what my thoughts were on the subject of polygyny. Now, I believe the best expert on polygyny is Blackmail Advice TV, aka Ringo, and if you want to get a comprehensive understanding of that subject, you need to go to his channel because he knows how these relationships work, but I will give my assessment on the subject since they requested it. Now, polygyny has been around ever since the Bible days, and other nations outside of the Israelites have participated in polygyny. Now, when I was writing my book House of Isis, I talk about how Isis, the daughter of Osiris, is the result of a polygynous relationship where Osiris, the pharaoh, decided to seek out a sister wife in order for him to have a third child who would become the Sword of Nubia, who is Isis, who from the Isis series. So the Isis character is the product of a polygynous relationship between Osiris and Isis's mother, Kirisheba, who was his was the sister wife in the New Heliopolitan pantheon. So this is something that has been done for centuries. The pharaoh in ancient Egypt participated in this. The Israelites participated in this in the Old Testament, such as Jacob and David. And there were Chinese people who participated in polygyny. They went out here and they called it mistresses and they called them concubines, but they also had other women. And these men went out here and they had these other wives because there was a great low mortality rate in the ancient world, and childbirth could kill a woman due to the lack of technology at the time. So because a woman could possibly lose her life during pregnancy, what a man would do is, if he had the resources, he would go out here and he would have sister wives so he could go out here and make sure that his family would remain intact in case of his wife passing away during pregnancy. So, what a man would do is he would take on a second or a third wife, and that was to ensure, one, that his bloodline would continue because he would have children by those women, and all of those children would be heirs as related to his fortune, and two, he would have extra wives because if he had a lot of resources, he would need help to maintain those resources, and having more than one helpmeet would allow him to help meet the needs of maintaining his household. So a man would go out here and seek a second or a third wife because he would need a second or third partner to help meet the needs of his family, and that was something he would do because he needed extra partners to help take care of the business of his family. So in a polygynous relationship, the most of the women know that they are agreeing to a marriage with this man, and that is a key word here as related to polygyny. These women are agreeing to marry this man. And these women are marrying this man not by any sort of state or governmental law. No, they were marrying this man under God and making vows to commit to this man inside of a marriage. And because they were committing to this man in marriage, they were not going out here seeking to be taken care of by another man. No, it was the job of that man to provide for those women. He was to provide their food, he was to provide their home, he was to provide for their clothing, and he was supposed to provide for all of the children inside of that family. That is what that man was supposed to do for each wife, and he was supposed to make sure that each of those wives' needs were taken care of. Now, as that man was taking care of those wives, she was trying to take care of him. And each of those women, they had tasks that they had to do for that man in maintaining his home or his estate. So each of the wives had work to do in the home, and because there was more than one, sometimes you would have it where they would be able to delegate tasks, where you would have sometimes one woman would be working on one project at one time while the others took care of something else, and all of them worked together to teach the children. All of them worked together to be on the same page. So sometimes you would have them all taking care of the children, and what one sister wife would do is delegate, okay, you're going to care for the children today, and another one will rest tomorrow, and they each would trade off tasks as related to taking care of the children and taking care of the home, or taking care of affairs as related to the home, like home based businesses. Everybody had tasks to do in the marriage, and some of them had to just, again, they would be able to take some time off from being stressed because while one was working on something with their husband, the other ones were resting or taking care of something on their own. So the household was taken care of, but the tasks were delegated between each of the wives. Now the wives also delegated tasks as related to sex, and each wife would be able to have intimate time with the husband. It is not some orgy that's going on. No, each wife had time that was intimate with the husband, and this made it where the husband's sexual needs were taken care of. So it wasn't an orgy where the man was having sex with multiple women. No, each of the wives had their own space, had their own rooms, and in some cases had their own homes. And each home, this is where they would be intimate with the husband. It wouldn't be he was just going out here having an orgy where he was having sex with 2 and 3 women at the same time. No, each wife had their own separate space, had their own separate, in some cases, had their own separate home. And again, each household's job was to work together with each other towards taking care of the overall family. Now, there are some out here who would want to try to take the principles of your polygyny, and they would look to exploit them, because there's a lot of whoremonger males out here who want to go out here and take the concept of polygyny, and what they want to do is use it to their advantage to say that it's a way for them to have multiple women. Now, these whoremongers, what they want to do with polygyny is say that they have all of these different women, but they are not interested in marrying any of those women. No, what they want to do is go out here and have sex with multiple women, call it a so-called relationship, and be able to call these women and have casual sex with them at their leisure. That is not anything to do with polygyny. No, in a polygynous relationship, again, the man is courting the woman, and as he's courting the woman, he is talking to the father and the members of the family and getting their blessing, because he is looking to marry this woman, and he is looking to marry this woman and make her a part of his family. Because he's looking to make this woman a part of his family in a marriage, what he is doing is he is saying, look, this woman is going to be my wife or one of my wives, and she is going to be a part of my family, and she is going to be a sister wife in the family, and she is going to have to do duties as a wife in the family, helping him meet the needs of the family. So this woman is going to be in a marriage, and that is part of what she is agreeing to. And that is another key point in polygyny. The people are agreeing to a marriage. This is what they are agreeing to. They are agreeing to be married to this man, and they are agreeing to be married to this man, and they are agreeing to be a partner in his household. So a lot of people get it mixed up about polygyny. They're thinking that it's again a man having multiple women. No, it is a man who is married to wives, and he is married to the wives, and the wives are going to help meet his needs as related to building and maintaining his household. So a man may have more than one wife, but the wives are at home, they're working at businesses, and they are working towards bringing money into the home to build wealth into the home. And they are also working towards teaching the children what they need, because each mother is there teaching the child values, teaching the child life skills, and giving the child different perspectives. And that is what happens in a polygynous household. You have more than one wife, and each of the wives are there taking care of the overall household and managing the household, so that the man can focus on on being the leader and the head of the household and setting a vision and a direction for the home. Now, there are some guys out here who want to get into the whole polygynous lifestyle, but they don't understand that this is marriage, and this is about family, and they also don't understand that you need to have your economic resources on point if you want to go start a family. This is where a lot of the whoremongers get in here and start thinking, oh, I'm going to have lots of women. No, this is about, can you provide for those women? Can you provide them with a home? Can you provide a household for those women to manage? And can you be able to supervise those women and be a head of that household? Can you perform these tasks as a man? Can you go out here and be a leader over that household? That's a critical question many men need to ask themselves before they start talking about going out here and getting wives, because you have to have your economic resources on point in order to take care of a home. You have to be able to say, look, I've got my house in order, and I have to have my paper taken care of, because when I bring on the sister wife, she is supposed to be cared for by me, because I am asking this woman to forsake her mother and father and cleave to me. And if I'm asking them to cleave, then I need to be in a place where I am ready to take care of that woman. That's the thing that many of the whoremongers and players don't really understand. They don't understand that there are responsibilities in a polygynous relationship, and this is why only a lot of men who had money, they were the ones who went out here and got sister wives, because they understood you could not just do this as some poor guy or some so-called whoremonger. You couldn't go out here and be able to just say, oh, I'm just going to have a bunch of women and call myself a polygynous man, because to do that is just basically you just looking to use women. And that's the one thing that polygyny is not about. It's not about using women. It's about making women into wives. And a wife is an esteemed title to the Most High. And it's an esteemed title because it is a statement that a girl has graduated into womanhood, and it is not something to be taken lightly. When a woman becomes a wife, it is her graduation into womanhood, and it says that she is again going to forsake her mother and her father, and she is going to cleave to that man. And when she cleaves to that man, it is his job to take care of her so that she can take care of his household. That is something very important that people miss about polygyny. They think, oh, it's just a guy again getting lots of women, but no, he is again committing to a marriage. And when he commits to marriage, he is saying, I am going to take care of this woman and the women that he has. And again, it is not it's not being a whoremonger, it's not being a womanizer, it is being a responsible man who is looking to take care of the women in his life. Now, a lot of these guys out here they're not really, as I see it, ready for that type of thing, because you have to have your money straight, you have to have your mind straight, and you have to be ready to take the lead of your household, because if you don't run your household will be running you. And if you're not very strong and very stern, your women will be running you and running your household, and you will have chaos because women get jealous of other women, women compete against other women, and you've got to get all of these women on the same page as related to following your lead. So you need to be a very strong man if you go out here and want to pursue a polygynous relationship with women. You have to be very strong, you have to be very assertive, and you have to be able to have control of your household, because if you can't control your household will go into chaos, because again, women get jealous of each other, women compete against each other, but you have to be able to lead the women and have them following your directions. Now, as I see it, it's up to the individual to choose if they want to be in a polygynous relationship. And women, if they choose to agree with this, this is what they have chosen to be a part of. However, and when it's out here, you have to choose this and accept that this is your decision. You cannot go out here and get mad when he talks to other women, because if he has sat there and told you up front, I am seeing other women, I am looking for sister wives, he is telling you up front what the relationship is, and most women should be happy that this man is being transparent, because he's letting you know up front there are other partners that he's going to have sexual relationships with and personal relationships with, and he's letting you know up front what the deal is, and that's very different than a player. That's very different than a cheater. That's very different than one of these whoremongers. He is upfront and letting you know, hey, look, I'm seeing other women. I have other wives. You're going to be part of a team, and being part of that team means that you are actually, in some cases, might possibly have less stress, because you will know where he is, and where he is with the sister wife, and at the sister wife's space, or the sister, if she has a sister wife as a residence, she's over at the other residence with her husband. So there's no transgression, and there is no stress, and there is no drama, because you know where the man is, and the man is taking care of his family and taking care of his business. So a lot of people, they want to sit there and they want to talk about, again, the polygyny being like the whoremonger, but the polygyny isn't like a whoremonger. Again, this is a marriage. The women agree to be married to this man. They agree to have this man be their leader. This is all about the choices these women make, and it's up to that individual to decide whether they want to agree to that kind of relationship. Whatever they want to do is what they do, and this is their choice. This is the choice that they have been given by the Most High. You can choose to go out here and be with the men in this kind of relationship if you choose, and the men can choose to have those women as wives. And again, this is a practice that has been done during the Bible days. It was done in ancient Egypt. It was done in China. I have done, again, extensive research on different cultures, and they call it different things, but these men have multiple women all the time. And it may not be something everybody agrees to, and it may not be something everybody can do, but if those people want to do that, they can go out here and do that, because that is their choice, and it is their choice to go out here and to do that, participate in that type of relationship. And if they choose to do that, that's their business. It's not my business to judge those individuals. It's just my business to just let people know what this is. And again, polygyny is a marriage, and that is the key word here, marriage. It is not just people going out here and sleeping with whoever and whenever. It is a family unit. It's about building a family, and it is a model for a family that most people don't really talk about too much, because in our modern society, we try to focus more on monogamy, and we focus on monogamy because that's what people think is the standard for marriage. But this is not, this has been something that has been done for centuries, and it is a model that most people don't really talk about. But there's a whole lot of things behind it that they don't want to talk about it, because selling engagement rings makes lots of money, and having people trying to go out here and try to have multiple marriages through on a monogamous way, this is very profitable for big business. So people don't talk too much about polygyny, but I wanted to share some thoughts on the subject and that the viewer requested. And if you want to request a video and I know something about that subject, you can send a Cash App donation by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my books on men's issues, like the Simp series and the Man Crisis and the upcoming Woman Crisis, you can pick up those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashware's, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many Black women can't find a husband and why 70% of Black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today.